Being a teacher, sometimes it's challenging. Being faculty is sometimes challenging. Being administrators, sometimes challenging because we have a new diversity in Canada, an increasingly profound diversity in our classrooms and in our institutions. And a praxis is where you take a model and you try to apply it to how you're doing your work. And it's this movement back and forth between looking at the model, reflecting on what you're doing, seeing how effective you are in deepening your practice. Faculty are challenged by the new diversity. We get new waves of new kinds and styles of students and different kinds of learners, and it's challenging. But there are some good research-based solutions and approaches that we can apply to our context, but it takes time. As the teacher, you're blue. Your wisdom, your knowledge, the experience you give the learners in the classroom is the yellow. You help make your learners green. And I would argue that my job is to help make faculty and staff here at BCIT green. This model or this framework, I would like to suggest that we all have the opportunity, when we have a very diverse classroom with many students from many different cultures, they push our buttons because our assumptions about what we're doing are different from theirs. Crichton and a fellow named Michael Page were doing some research on international education. And I like this quote. It's 2004 and it still stays for me. Intercultural education as opposed to international education is a more inclusive formulation in that interculturality includes both international and domestic students. So it's not just about international students, it's about intercultural. It's about also the domestic Aboriginal students on our campuses and other people from other cultural groups as well that are participating. Right? What we're going to do is we're going to watch this video, and I want you to watch for something's ups. Somebody has something's up is like somebody's surprised, something happens that they didn't expect. People tend to jump to judgment, and then people stop there. People often don't get to the third one, which is making sense, and we'll talk a little bit about making sense a little bit later.
Okay, I'll take item 1 on the agenda. Division project reports need to be completed and submitted on time. And I'm sure Pat would agree that applies to everyone on the team.
Yes, right. Now, when can I see the reports for Thomas Reid?
Yes,
Lynn, can I get an answer?
Lynn, you're the project leader here. Can you have the deliverables by this afternoon?
Yes, according to the schedule, it should be finished, but we're still waiting the information from Thomas Reid. We called and emailed several times, and we're still waiting.
That's unusual. This client is always on time with the specs. Okay, look, call Reid and push him for the numbers for this afternoon.
Yes, we will try.
Okay. On my desk, 4 o'clock, please.
Yes, we will try.
First thing we ask for is we ask people, okay, what happened? Describe what happened. And it, without any judging language as best as you can. Right? Second, what are the judgments or conclusions that each person might be making in the situation? So Lynn, what kind of decision or judgments might she be making? How about Pat? What kind of things might he be making? And it's very important that it's two-pronged. It's not just about me, it's about us. So we try to investigate both sides of the situation. It's not just about me, but it's about the dynamic that happens between us. Next, what is this really about? Is this about rapport? Is it about trust? Is it about credibility? It's not usually just about the work. It's about something else. Sometimes we often will call people's character. It's not just that the report's not done. It's that they're lazy. It's not just that they don't have the numbers. It's that they're incompetent. Right? So people will often judge to that, and we need to pull back. It's like, well, are they really incompetent, or are there other things? We need to dig underneath it. And we need to look at what my normal is, what I would expect, and what their normal might be about how they're portraying that information. And then after we collect that data, we tried to set up a way to make right action, or a way to go forward that we can act for some kind of success.
Yes. Yes, come in, Lynn.
Yes, Minx said you needed to see me.
Come in. I wanted to have a minute with you to discuss a couple things.
Yes.
Please, sit down. So, Lynn, how's your new office setup working?
Very fine, thank you. I'm very comfortable.
Great, good to hear. Earlier at the meeting, you wanted to tell me something while Govinda was giving his report.
Well, it was just about, I'm looking at other Miller's website. There's a notice that they are doing business with our competitor.
No. Really?
Yes.
Well, Lynn, this is information we needed at the meeting.
I can't tell you in the meeting.
It's okay, Lynn. Really, this kind of information we need while the item is on the table, not afterwards. This is the kind of information that I need to know, okay? That everybody needs to know. Timely information, very important, okay?
Yes.
All right. You know my door's always open. If you have any comments or questions, you can discuss them freely with me.
Yes.
Okay. Now also at the meeting, I wanted to talk about something that you said.
I'm sorry?
When I was asking you about the Thomas Reed numbers and having a report done in the afternoon, you said, "We will try." What did you mean by that?
I'm sorry?
Well, does try mean that you will get the work done or that you won't get the work done? What I mean is, are you 50% sure that you might get the work done or 90% sure that you will get the work done?
It means I will try.
Okay. I'm going to rephrase. I'm sorry, I'm not being clear here. Earlier at the meeting, when I was pushing you for the Thomas Reed numbers so you could get your report done, and you said, "We will try." What did you mean by that in the context of our work here?
It means we will try. We will get the work done. And I'm sorry that if I'm not made clear, but...
So 50% or 90% sure?
90% sure.
Okay. Thank you for that, Lynn. Thanks for helping me understand. Okay, back to that other...
Now, we have these culture general frameworks. People are probably familiar with some of them. Things like Hofstede's work, or Trompenar's work, or Stella Tingtoomey works with some of these things. People that are working with various global cultural styles, there are models that we can use that focus on communication style, hierarchy or power and status, because different cultures have different ways of looking at hierarchy and power, right? What we're going to do is we're going to make a Mobius. And Mobius was a German mathematician a number of years ago. And what you do is you make a twist, and then you attach. It'll end up looking a little bit like that. Then I want you to tape it sort of end to end like that. Get a pen, pull the line to the end. Just pull the line to the end. Is there an outside and an inside with one of these? Or they're kind of connected, right? All of my biases and my blind spots and my weaknesses, when I get pushed or I'm in a conflict, they come out and other people can see them. And that energy, she says, it's like this infinity symbol, right? It's infinity. That influences how effective I am. I really like Lencioni's idea of teams. Lencioni says in team function, in teams and groups, the fundamental basis is trust. But if you have a high level of trust, people are able to be honest and vulnerable and say, you know what, I screwed up, I didn't know. People are not afraid of evaluation if they know what they're being evaluated on, if they feel like they've been treated with respect, if they feel like they're all in. The other side, and this is what we see a lot with these, international education, like MBA programs that have a lot of international students, a lack of rapport, where people are not able to build rapport, rapport leads to trust. And if you get there, there's a fear of conflict because people are just nice. They'll go every possible way to work around the conflict and not have honest conversations. People don't feel like they can admit when they make a mistake, and cohesiveness breaks down. People will not feel as committed because there's way too much ambiguity. They don't really know if the person's going to do what they said or not. How do we prepare our learners, our students, as well as our, our friends and colleagues, so that we can get to those better results? We're always, I mean, in life, we always have this side, right? Has anybody not been here? Right? The key thing is to get a little bit more of this and a little less of that. And we build future careers. We build promotable potential project managers who become general managers, who become entrepreneurs and the heads of companies. How do we set them up so that they have more on that side than on this side? Start with the self, look inside. There's some really good resources that you can look online. Visit our website. Thank you very much, everybody.